Post-separation abuse. A lot of people hope that at the end of a relationship they can restart their lives and move on to something better and find happiness in a new relationship, or just enjoy life, freedom, and being single again. However, if a person in a relationship with someone who has put a lot of time and effort into training you to be submissive and to tolerate their abuse, they want you to behave in a certain way towards them, they have expectations of you and will tell you what they want of you. Now, if you do not behave in the way that they expected you to behave, then their ego will be bruised and they are angry. You will see this anger post-separation, whether they ended the relationship or you did. When you stand up to them or question something, then they can see that they are losing control over you. They will be enraged. They can become vindictive and can often deny everything they have done to cause you hurt, harm, and emotional and psychological damage. They can attack you and blame you for the situation, acting like they were the one who was mistreated, and there will be no closure after they terminate the relationship. They will have no remorse or feelings about how they mistreated you, how they can leave you emotionally and financially devastated, while simultaneously moving on very quickly to a new, or maybe not so new, relationship. You will be left in a sort of limbo. Why? Because they have devalued you. They have sabotaged your opportunities for growth or financial independence throughout the relationship. Even if you started out as an independent income earner, you can end up being completely dependent on them. When this happens, they have you trapped. They know they have you trapped. This is how they can continue to disrespect you, mistreat you, and sometimes physically abuse you. So moving on to something better can be difficult when your self-esteem and confidence have been eroded severely. Then imagine that post-separation the ex becomes this angry, enraged monster who will not listen to you, who will not discuss anything with you. You are meant to do as you were told and take into consideration everything that he wants and needs. Meanwhile, you're in a position where you are struggling to make sense of everything that is happening. This is where the conflict happens, only usually this is instigated by the person who has been mistreating you throughout the relationship. Conflict can be threatening legal action against you. It can be threatening to leave you with nothing, financially devastated. It can be the threat of fighting over custody of the children, pets, property, or other possessions. When this situation happens, it leaves the true victim in the relationship, drowning in a sea of murky water, unable to know what to do or where to turn. The victim usually has very few financial resources at their fingertips. If they left the family home, then they may be in a refuge or even sofa surfing with friends, trying to come to terms with everything that has happened and didn't expect to also have to fight more legal battles. Or if they were discarded and have been left in the family home with no financial settlement and very few options to seek legal counsel. Now this leaves victims in a place of uncertainty, fear, grief, and often suffering anxiety. They may have friends and family in the community to support them. However, there are situations where the controlling person has isolated their target. This happens when they have been lured into a new life in a different city or even a different country. Isolated from family and friends, it is difficult to leave a relationship when you have become trapped and dependent financially. When the relationship is terminated, this leaves them vulnerable and at risk. In some cases, the trauma experienced is just too much for the person. This can often end in attempts to end their life, and sometimes they succeed. My book, Post-Separation Abuse, Betrayal and Abandonment, What Type of Man, will be available as an ebook soon, plus on pre-order, and then widely published in April 2022.